Check 1 2, check, check, check. Check 1 2, talking loud. Check 2 3, talking not loud. Looks good. Welcome back to the channel, guys. So there's a tag going around YouTube now, hashtag Myfavoritetrail. Other backpacking YouTube channels are tagging people to discuss their favorite trail. And I'm not sure what the rules are, if you're supposed to be like your favorite trail in your state or just trail altogether. There's a lot of trails I like in my home state of Ohio, but of all the places I've backpacked across the country, there is one trail that stands out to me as my all-time favorite trail. So I was tagged in this video by Gone Feral with Squidly. He's got a smaller YouTube channel. Make sure you guys check him out. I'm gonna put his link to his channel in the description below. I think like 8 or 10 other YouTubers actually started this tag, and he's actually got them all listed in the description of his video. So make sure you guys go check him out. A lot of good resources there for new trail ideas to go backpacking on. But let's get right into my favorite trail. So of all the places I've backpacked all across the country, there's definitely one trail that sticks out to me as my favorite, like I said, and it is going to be the Timberline Trail in Oregon. So if you guys have been following me for any amount of time, you probably saw this one coming. So when I was in Oregon, I did about 100 miles. I did the Three Sisters Wilderness and Timberline Trail, and I actually made a video about that about 6 months ago or so on my favorite backpacking trip. So I'm not going to go too much into why that was my favorite trip. I'm going to get more into logistics and what makes this trail my favorite, you know, give you some of the features, some of the ups, some of the downs, and yeah. So first off, the Timberline Trail is a 40-mile trail that circumnavigates Mount Hood in Oregon. I'm pretty sure that's the tallest mountain in Oregon. I believe it's a total elevation gain of like 9,000 feet. Don't be fooled just because you're going around a mountain that you think there's not going to be a lot of elevation. Tons and tons of canyons that run off of Mount Hood that you're constantly going up and down. So starting at the Timberline Lodge, this is a loop, like I said. I'm not an out and back kind of guy, and doing point to point, a little bit more planning goes into that, especially when you only have one vehicle or you're the only person going on the trip. So starting and ending at your car is always a plus. You start off on the PCT either heading north or south, which is always a pleasure. The PCT is awesome. The way I went, I started south, so I actually did a counterclockwise loop around the trail, and it was super sandy on the PCT. It was definitely the most unenjoyable section of the PCT that I've done to date, but it really didn't last long, and it honestly just added into one of my favorite things about this trail, and that was the diversity. Like, there's so many different types of views and types of different terrain that you're going through that really just made it like something new around every corner. You're constantly going up and down, in and out of canyons. And I think on my second day, I reached the highest point of the trail, which is above tree line, full exposure, not a lot of water through that area. I think you top out at about 7,300 feet elevation. So quite a bit of elevation, quite a bit of climbs. I wouldn't say that they were like super steep though. They were graded very nice, but it was very constant on the climbs. So I picked this trail because it was like a roller coaster of emotions for me. There was just so many cool things and good feelings I got from this trail, but it also like took me down to some of my lowest lows I've ever had, which was trying to cross a lot of the water crossings on a rainy day. So you have a lot of glacier runoff in the heat of the day from the sun melting the glacier. So the stream crossings always get bigger that are running off of Mount Hood. On top of that, when it's raining, like, they can be super treacherous. I will say that was one pro of the trail, is you really don't have to worry about water at all. Like, logistically, water carries are super, super easy. I think that the second day was the longest water carry I had, and I believe it was only like 2 miles or so. I'm going to link that video up here too if you guys want to check out the Timberline series. I have 2 videos on that. But water was a non-issue. Not a lot of people out there as well. I've read a lot of things about people saying it's an overcrowded trail. It really wasn't for me, and I was actually there in the peak. I would like to think it's the peak backpacking season, because late August through sometime in September is the best time to go as far as bugs go. So I hear a lot of people say that Oregon gets really, really nasty mosquitoes, and it can get really buggy out there. And the time when I was there, I had mosquitoes bugging me like one evening, but not really bad. Nothing more than I'm used to here in Ohio in the summertime. Yeah, so if you're gonna go, you definitely want to go like late August. It's just perfect. And for it being like perfect weather, not a lot of bugs, I didn't think there was a ton of people out there. And honestly, I would have been okay with passing more people on my third day when I was going through all these nasty water crossings, because it was just, I mean, it was just downright scary at that point. Like, it was scary enough that I didn't film like any of the water crossings, and I film anything. Like, if I'm gonna cut my arm off out there, it's like the first thing I'm gonna do is film it and get it on camera. And that day I had no urge to film any of these water crossings because they were just so sketchy, just like some of the rock jumping. And I mean, I would have forded a lot of the water too, but it was just like raging white water. Like, if water looks fast when you're going to cross it, it's going to feel way faster once you get in it. And this stuff was just ripping. Like, I feel like if I would have put 1 foot in it, I would have got thrown down the creek bed. The trail has consistent good views the whole time. A lot of the time you always have a good view of Mount Hood. Sometimes when you get up in the higher elevations on the north section, you have good views of like Mount Rainier, Mount Adams. To your north, like way out in the distance, some really, really cool, dense forest areas that are just super green, super mossy, which was some of my favorite hiking I've ever done, I feel like, because I hit that one of those sections in the morning when it was super, super foggy, and I just like played around, like taking pictures and stuff. Just gorgeous trail. I've never been anywhere like that in my life. Really, really cool. It's just one of those trails that I would definitely want to do again. You're constantly going down into these canyons and coming up out of them, and there's so many points when you get to look back or look ahead and see where you're gonna go. It's just really cool to watch your progress as you're going around this mountain. Camping in the area was really, really good. Lots of good campsites. I was mentally taking note of areas where there were good campsites, so I have a pretty good idea of the areas that are hard to find campsites. If you guys are going there and you have any questions, put them in the comments below, and I will, try to help you out and let you know what areas you should probably try to avoid to camp in. But the campsites were super nice. I think you'd have a lot easier time out there if you were tenting. It seemed like they were a lot more tent friendly. You could definitely do this trail with a hammock though. It's definitely possible. The other trail I hiked in Oregon, Three Sisters, definitely would have been very difficult to try to hammock that trail. But Timberline is hammock friendly, tent friendly. Tons of good water, just great views. It was really amazing. Some of the sunrises and sunsets that I saw on that trail were the best ones I've ever seen in my life, and I think that was just because you're on such a high mountain. So overall on the terrain, it was very doable. It's rated as a difficult trail, so definitely a lot of elevation, a lot of climbs. There was only a couple sections that were like sketchy, like really hard as far as just normal trail goes. And I wouldn't say hard, like just sketchy, like scary. There was one 10-foot section that it was a sheer drop off on the right side. So you definitely have to be careful. I wouldn't want to take people out there that have never been backpacking before personally. You really got to be careful. You want to do your research. People have died on the Timberline Trail, so you just want to keep that in mind. And people have drowned in the water crossings before. So you definitely want to go when you are pretty sure you're going to have good weather. A little bit of rain wouldn't be bad. I personally hit rain on the day when I was crossing like 5 water crossings. So it really wasn't ideal. And being out there by myself, it was throwing me all around with the most beautiful scenery I've ever seen, as well as some of the hardest hiking, the hardest like mentally taxing stuff I've ever had to go through. So just a roller coaster of emotions for me. Is just something I'll always remember. Really, really would love to go out there and do it again sometime. But I think that about covers it for my favorite trail. It's just, if you ever get the chance to go hike in Oregon, check out Timberline Trail. It will not disappoint you. Well, I think that about covers it. So thanks to Gone Feral with Squidly for tagging me in this video, giving me a video for this week to do. Check them out in the links down below. I'm gonna go ahead and tag somebody too, keep this thing rolling to get just a bunch of information of people giving out their favorite trails. So all you people out there doing research, trying to discover new trails to go backpacking on, just has this video series of all these resources and stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and tag Hunter from Hunter's Trip. Really good YouTube channel. He's like a super ultralight dude. Hopefully get out there on the trail with him one of these days. But Hunter, it's all you, man. So that's it for the video, guys. Comment down below. Let me know what your favorite trail is. I am always looking for trail suggestions, new trails to check out. And yeah, that does it. So subscribe down below if you're not already for more videos like this, more trip videos and gear videos and stuff like that. Hit that like button and that notification bell. And I will see you guys on the next one. I had to stop yesterday. I couldn't mentally take another one.